Kevin Durant is also running into some problems on Twitter. Obviously, there's the famous burner accounts going back and forth with a teenage analyst. And then we have the latest with him and CJ McCollum. Well, he addressed it all and he said, quote, I mean, I know y'all trying to make me look crazy and discredit me and strip me of my credibility, but I see what you're doing, but I'm going to still keep standing. Now, Carrie, I wanted to talk to you about this because while I was preparing for the show today, I had an epiphany. Okay. I said to myself, I used to make fun of Kevin Durant for this. I used to not understand this. But at this point, I find him actually sympathetic. I feel bad for Kevin Durant. I feel like he's like, hey man, I'm just people are slandering my name, and every once in a while I respond to them on Twitter, and now all of a sudden I'm a crazy person that's insecure. Do you feel that at this point that it's kind of the backlash has gotten so bad that Kevin Durant is now a sympathetic figure?
No. And wait, so you feel sorry for him? I want to make sure I heard you right. I do.
In
what way?
I feel like the way that people view him, and now the new word people are using is insecure for him, and like, oh, he's so insecure he won't stay with the Warriors. It's like he's not insecure. He's just reading the comments, and every once in a while you get upset about them. I'm sure you have, and you want to fire back. He just indulges that impulse, and I don't think there's anything so wrong about him. I don't think that means much about his character, and like I think that people now judge him in a way that's unfair due to his actions, which are just a couple tweets.
Okay, so he didn't used to fire back. I do remember that, right? He did fire back a lot when he was in OKC.
Not from his account.
Not from his, yeah, exactly. To our knowledge, right?
Yes,
But, okay, a couple of times that he's fired back, like when he went back and forth in the DMs with one guy and said, you're a bad Stephen A., that was funny. Like, I knew he was just having fun with that kid.
Yes.
But from personal experience, I will tell you, and I like Kevin. I think he's a great guy, and I don't have any beef with him. But I think that Kevin takes things a little too personal, and as does every athlete. There's not one athlete that doesn't remember when you say something bad about them, because they will remind you when you meet them. But I remember the one time I went on the Twitter and said that I would, not even Twitter, it was on a show, it was on SportsCenter, and I said I just wouldn't pick him because he didn't have enough heart for me. Do you remember I got roasted? There were think pieces written about me. They were like, how dare she? She's a girl, get back in the kitchen. Who's this woman?
Of course.
And that was, and 6 months later he left. And he went to the Golden State. And here's my thought. When that happened, everyone wanted to talk so bad about him. He was a cupcake, he was this, he was that. And in my mind, I was like, I wasn't even saying he was a cupcake. I was just like, I want somebody who's a killer. And Kevin understood that. So Kevin, in my opinion, is such a superstar, Jacoby, that you can't do that. It's almost like Oprah responding to everything on Twitter. I'm not comparing him to Oprah, but when you're such a superstar.
Yes, you are.
Well, I guess I am. You can't, look, do you respond to every single thing? You're Jacoby, Jacoby.
I'm so skeptical of everything on Twitter that I don't even respond to like compliments. Like even people that say nice things to me, I'm like, maybe they're just trying to entrap me when I say something nice back to them, then they're gonna respond with something else. Like I don't respond to many people on Twitter. But again, I'm not everybody, but I don't judge Kevin Durant so much for doing so. I think that he was probably just a little emotionally scarred from the backlash of his decision to go to Golden State, that he's been trying to sort of like get that back. I feel like he wants to be loved more than he is. He's just not at peace with the fact that some people are going to judge him for that. Some people are going to think that was soft, like CJ McCollum does, and he just needs to let it go.
He needs to let it go.
Needs to let it go.
And everybody likes him. The thing about you saying he's a great guy. You ever meet him? Like, he's a great guy. No one dislikes him. But look at LeBron. Remember how we used to get so mad at him for subtweeting? He stopped because he realized he's too big of a star to do that. He stopped subtweeting.
He did.
If you want Kevin Love to blend in or blend out, go tell him in the locker room. Don't tell me on Twitter.
I love that you just asked me if I've met Kevin Durant. I don't drive this dude around in Ubers like you, Carrie Champion. You know, like I'm not. I'm just a little old guy by himself in the studio. I barely met Jalen Rose.
You know what? That's not true.
I meet Kevin Durant.
That is not
I don't
true.
hang out with Kevin Durant.
You are a superstar. Everyone knows you. I will tell you that Kevin Durant told me I was in a sunken place when I said mean things to him. I started rolling. I was like, was I in a sunken place?
That's kind of funny. One of my theories is you can be mean if you're funny. That is kind of funny.
It was funny. I was like, I'll take the hit. It was funny. I didn't tweet about it. I laughed. Ha ha ha.
Kevin Durant's too tall to be in the sunken place.
Yeah, right. This is true.